Hello, I'm Ian Mark from 70s Rock Photos. I'm also the author of Adventures of a 70s Rock Photographer. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. It's time to go back to October 22nd, 1976, when I photographed The Who at Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. There are a few bands that played at Woodstock that are still active today, and The Who is one of them. Speaking of going way back, I must show off this item I have with me. It is a scarf that goes back to February 1976. I was skiing in Switzerland when the people I was staying with asked me if I wanted to go see this rock band called The Who playing in Zurich. I said of course yes. The concert was held in this dingy, divey arena with about 5,000 people. They were selling these overpriced scarves before the concert. When the concert was over, it must have been at the end of the tour because they were almost giving them away. That's when I bought this one that I've kept all these years. It was a photograph from this first Who concert that was used on the front page of Music Express magazine on the debut issue of October 1976. Now I want to show off this mug that a friend of mine made. It's a 70s Rock Photos mug. It is one of a kind. Her name is Roxy. She's on Instagram under the name Borealis_handcrafted. Since I know how hard it is to sell online, I wanted to give her a plug here. Now let's get back to The Who in Edmonton. I usually like to start my videos with shots of the venue, both inside and out. Unfortunately, in this case, the Edmonton Coliseum is closed and will be demolished soon, so I couldn't get inside. To make up for it, I will be taking you first to the Hotel McDonald, where The Who stayed. I know where The Who stayed because my boss and I stayed in the same hotel when we photographed the concert. So let's go there now. So here we are at the Hotel McDonald where The Who stayed in 1976. It's one of the most iconic hotels in Western Canada, going back to 1915. It could have been used to film The Shining. It has hosted many celebrities, including a visit of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth in 1939, and later the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney, Carol Burnett, Oprah, Bill Clinton, and more. As you can see, it is perched on the top of a hill looking down over the North Saskatchewan River. Here's a shot of the lobby where you can get a feeling of the history of this hotel. Edmonton is the capital of the province of Alberta and goes back to 1892. As I said in the intro, my boss and I stayed in the same hotel as The Who. So now we have taken a look at the hotel. Let's travel 15 minutes away to the Edmonton Coliseum. The Edmonton Coliseum was built in 1974 and seats 16,000 people. I have photographed Alice Cooper and Susie Quatro in 75, The Who in 76, and Eric Clapton and the Byrds in 77 in this venue. Other acts who have performed here include Paul McCartney, the Rolling Stones, ABBA, Rush, Yes, and Metallica, to name a few. At this time, the building has been replaced by a newer, bigger arena and is waiting for demolition. There is nothing lonelier than a shut-down, deserted arena waiting for the wrecking ball. Now let's see the photographs from the concert. As I said at the beginning of this video, I photographed The Who in February 1976 in Zurich before the Edmonton show in October 1976. And I saw what a great show The Who put on. They are truly one of the greatest bands of all time. They performed for about 2.5 hours. There is more to a rock show than what happens on stage. The audience has to be in it. A band can sense when the audience is not with them. Some may think that the band doesn't care because they are making money, but it does matter to the great performers of any art. In this concert in Edmonton, I must be truthful and say that the audience wasn't really in the concert until about three quarters of the concert had passed. It may have been because there was a good 2 hours gap after Mother's Finest, the opening act, finished their set, and the time that The Who came on. Supposedly there were some power issues. The Who were one of the first bands to use laser beams in their concerts. At the time, lasers required a lot of power, and there were power issues at the Coliseum. The laser beams are used notably during the song Won't Get Fooled Again. They were a trademark of a Who show at the time. In any case, maybe the time gap sucked the energy out of the audience. I don't know. In the end, no one can predict or explain the karma of a crowd. Whatever the reason for the reserved audience response, the Who could feel it and knew what wasn't there. To try to make things better, the band did an encore Long Live Rock, something they don't usually do. They give all they can, and then it's over. Keith Sharp, the publisher of Music Express, was able to arrange an interview with Roger Daltrey. We were told to wait at the Coliseum after the concert and Roger would see us. We waited, but no one came out. After a while, Keith decided that something must have happened and we should go back to our hotel, which we did in a quandary. Since we were staying at the same hotel as The Who, Keith Sharp approached the rep for MCA Records and asked him to please find out what had happened. The rep said that after we left, Roger came out to meet us, but we weren't there, so a reporter from the Edmonton Journal got the interview. Keith was very disappointed and begged the MCA record rep to try to set up another interview at the hotel, especially since we were both staying at the same hotel as The Who. A few minutes later, the rep called back and said he went up the floor to where The Who were staying. He said that Roger and Pete were having a discussion about the concert and what went wrong. The record rep felt that when he heard the tone of the discussion, he decided it was not the time for him to interrupt them to set up another interview. I always remember this as the interview that got away. I think you can see from these shots that The Who give a great concert. Roger Daltrey is a great front man leading the charge to battle. Pete has the energy of 10 men, the way he jumps up in the air. Keith Moon is one of rock's best out-of-control drummers. I like the way that everyone in The Who gets a chance to shine in a concert. They all sing songs. In both concerts, I saw John Entwistle sing My Wife. I'm thankful that I was able to photograph the original band lineup before fate forced the personnel changes that came later in the band. We are coming to the end of this video. I thank you for watching these shots of The Who going back to 1976. I thought we would go out with some color shots of The Who taken in Zurich, Switzerland. These may be color, but the images from Edmonton are better quality. That's what you get with 2 cameras and having an in with the production company. I just noticed from the ticket stub that the cost was only $8.50. That doesn't even get you parking these days. Please subscribe and like this video. As Roger Daltrey sang in his last song at the Edmonton concert, Long Live Rock. Take care.